Hello, Zernaut here. So today, what I'm going to be doing is a tour of my hardcore world. I've had this world for the past 3 years, been more or less playing on and off for those past 3 years. I've accumulated now up to 2,500 days, or that's the number. Not quite, actually. I missed the 2,500 day world tour mark by 84 days. Sorry, not sorry. However, today, what I'm going to be doing is giving a tour of my world. I am very proud of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the base. So, the base right down here is a sort of a copy of a base that I used in a SMP probably 4 or 5 years ago now. It was a small base like this. It was one of these rooms in a bedroom. And it was hidden away. Only access was a nether portal, which was here instead. And in this base, I have actually built my own nether portal room. It's using nether blocks. I think it looks really good. I'm not, I would really say, a builder type of player. However, I think it looks pretty good. So this is a main room. There's not much to it besides the shulker mess here. I know, I'm kind of a slobby player. Just don't pay any attention to that. Here is the cargo elevator room. That'll make more sense when I go up top. And in this chest up here, also don't mind the mess, I have a sniffer farm hidden away. And for these, I used to have a hidden bamboo farm. However, what I've converted it into is a bamboo and cactus farm. And what happens from that is it's auto smelts it. I know I think I need more bamboo modules. I just have not gotten around to that. I need a lot more fuel. I have a handy dandy little auto crafter back here for fuel. It's meant to be a quick and easy XP if I ever need it, which I might for my pickaxe at some point. I don't take great care of those. And then in here is the storage room that I never use. I was originally going to expand it down another layer, however I realized this design is very inefficient, for me at least. It can only hold a certain amount of items, and it would take a lot of item frames to actually label them all, so I have no idea what's where, and because of that I've just sort of adapted to using those storage rooms. And also I was playing around with different roof designs, either a smithing table, these two, or skulk. Actually, the skulk's not that bad. So, back to the base. That room will make sense later. I have a villager trading hall right here. A whole bunch of villagers. Down here I have a bee farm. I set it up to do some honeycomb, a lot of honey. I needed it for some redstone. I have some copper bulbs up there as lights. And then if I come over here, this villager is just out. And then I have a breeder here with a special mechanism to grab the villagers from it. If we come over here, I have a automatic farm. Not quite automatic netherwart farm. However, it does knock all the netherwart off and funnel it into these. I need to replant it myself though. And I did do a little redstone to make it automatically shut off. Thankfully, most of the redstone I use here is not mine. I have taken it from tutorials. And then if we look in here, I have a nice, I call it a cozy music disc room. I have all the music discs, or I think it's all of them. I have not kept up with all the new updates, or not quite. So I just play music in here. I have a parrot here. Hidden lighting to make it not dark. I do play with full bright though. It's just easier for me, I don't know why. Then behind here is a 2-furnace smelting array. I did all the redstone for it myself. I used dropper elevators. I did not watch any tutorials for this one. It's very rudimentary. Very rudimentary. It's not great. Down here is a quick chorus farm. I either need to expand it or expand it down that way. I'm not sure what's going to be this way. Maybe a way up to the surface. That's still undecided. And if we come over here, it's a staircase down. And down here, I'm experimenting with maybe a tough wall up here, but this is a library. And it has a magical floor. However, I think I need to make it deeper, unfortunately. It uses stained glass using a fog effect and end rods to make it look like a sort of abyss. However, if you pay it close enough attention, you still can't tell the end. I'm also not super happy with how it merges here. There's still some things I'm figuring out. Oh yeah, I do have diamond chandeliers though. Not to brag or anything. And then in here, this is a map of my world from 2 years ago. You will see this in a couple minutes. And I was experimenting with what it's going to look like up top. I've used the word experimenting a lot. I originally had just the boat in here. There was a village up there. I actually used to have a trading hall up top. Then I had the staircase down to this base where the sorter used to be. No, where the sorter is. And what I am doing with that, or no, I used to have the stairs. I filled it all in after I brought villagers down, and I demolished the whole mountain where the trading hall was. I might have some screenshots of that. I will pop those up if I still do have them. No promises. This is what my map room looks like, though. Then if I come this way, there is a base enchanter. It does level 30. Grindstone. There is also a barrel here. I'm not too proud of this room. I might want to redo it. Yeah. And then under here, I do not know what I'm going to do yet. Here's the hallway. This is a down chute and an up chute. And this is my first iteration of a potion room. It needs a lot of work. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with the concept yet. This is the up. And I'm also not sure what I'm doing down here yet. It's sort of a maze down here. I've just been playing long enough. I have a whole bunch of flags. I'm going to hang them up top. But now it's time to move out of the central base for now. So I have a calibrated skulk sensor under there that moves us into this lobby. I was originally going to have an elevator down to the mines. However, I just decided, nah, too much work. But here I do have a 70 block tall redstone elevator. And what this redstone elevator does is it brings you to the surface where I actually have been building. And I'm really proud of some of the builds up there. I cannot wait to show them off. Yeah. I don't really know what to say during this video. I'm not even sure if I know how to cut it, which is fun. I'm learning how to use DaVinci and other editing softwares. Looks like it's nighttime up here. However, if you come out, this is the base of a building that I'm very proud of. It's the clock tower. And there is currently still copper oxidizing up top. I'm not sure if I like the orange or the green better for the roof. That's still to be determined. And it's also textured with a lot of tough basalt, or not basalt, deep slate, different kind of deep slate, and walls. It gets darker as it goes up. I'm not sure if that quite makes sense. More shulker monsters, don't mind that. This is meant to be sort of a realistic pier, so here's a public bathroom, no interior. And here's a ticket sales booth, also no interior. So now if I take a fly, I'm going to show off the first boat. I'm building a second one. But this boat is the HMHS Britannic. She sank in 1916 during World War I. And I built it in Minecraft. It's a pretty impressive build. One day I just decided I'm going to build a giant boat. And I built a giant boat. I don't have the interior yet. That's a future project. However, this elevator comes all the way up to the pier, which this might be wooden eventually. I'm still figuring that out as well. Now we come down into the feeder, no, not the feeder, the pier lobby. And down here, I put the guts of the elevator to display. There's a chest monster and a bed, a temporary mud farm, and down here is a hole to the cargo elevator. I've been using that mainly. And here's a road. It's using basalt, smooth basalt, deep slate, and frog lights for texture. Now if we look at this blue building, it's almost done, not quite. So, I'm using carpets for accent. I ran out of carpets up there. You'll see my carpet method later at my farm. Second boat over there I'm building. This is a over 100 tall pillar, 4x4, of coal. And eventually I'm going to mine it all down and see how much coal I get. Over here I am building a park. I'm pretty happy with this park as well. These are meant to be palm trees. I've never done like any terraforming before. This beacon needs to be moved. I'm trying to build a pond. I think it looks pretty good, but I'm still not sold on it yet. And I'm still figuring out the sidewalk as well. There's a copper. So if we look at the Y level right now, we're on Y64. If I fly all the way to the top of this coal monstrosity, we are at Y170. So as I said, it's over 100 blocks tall. And this second building over here is also almost 100 blocks tall. I might make some edits to the exterior. I'm going to build an interior. It's meant to be a city eventually, but that is still in progress, to say the least. There's no interiors on either of these, so that's why it's not really worth even showing you what's going on. And down here, I built a tiny little brick building. There's no interior either, there's just slabs on the floor. Hopefully next World Tour, there's actually going to be something there. I'm working on that, though. No promises yet. And the way I've been playing this world for most of the time is if I come over here, I literally just jump down here. And I just fly down the shaft. I might make a bubble elevator. This is a 3x3 elevator. So it goes up like that. I'm not going on it because that's basically it for this area. Actually, I do have a tiny raid farm up there. There's not much to really see there. I'll show it off later in the video if I have time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to step into the nether and go to the main area where I have anything else, really. It's my industrial district. I spent a whole lot of time mining out all of this with bedrock breaking glitches. There's been days where I'm fine breaking it, there's been days where I'm struggling. So I fly a couple hundred blocks over here to where the nearest ocean is. Yeah, it's pretty lucky that the nearest ocean is all the way over here. However, if I go through this portal, then we come out to my industrial district. I have a whole bunch of farms. I have an iron farm right there. I have a wool farm for each kind of sheep. I have an automatic bamboo farm. I am still working on an auto crafter because right now it has a massive storage system because it works super fast. I built this wood chopper thing. So it basically pushes out the wood and it blows it up. I have a basalt farm over here. The problem is my pickaxe is kind of too good. It's not a problem you're typically used to having. I have a sugarcane farm over here. A pumpkin melon farm. 2 different cactus farms. One of them is feeding into bone meal for the wood chopper. I also have a moss farm up here, which is basically just for bone meal. However, I have been stealing some moss for the park recently. And now, the main attraction over here. It's not the shulker farm. The shulker farm doesn't work. For some reason, the shulkers just keep teleporting away. But here, I have a snow golem powered creeper farm. Interesting concept, I know, yeah. But basically, the creepers spawn here, and the snow golems shoot at them. The creepers all walk over here. They go burn at the campfires down bottom. It's surprisingly fast for a design that, like, I had no idea it was this good. I'm not going to take credit for this. It's from a tutorial. But here we have almost 6 full double chests of gunpowder. Closer to 5.5, I'd say. Still a lot. I know for 2,500 days, this is not much to show for a world. However, my playstyle is actually a lot less of I'm always playing, I'm always building. It's more of I build a farm, I spend a lot of time at that farm. It produces a lot of stuff, and I have no idea what to do with all that stuff. Yeah, so most of these have a little over a chest, except for dark gray, which is what I've been using on the building, the blue building. I'm not sure if I'll focus on an interior or more exteriors. However, the other thing is a lot of my playtime in here has been exploring the new updates. So I have a whole bunch of different paths leading away from here. If we follow this path a little bit, it actually goes to a gold farm. And one thing I'm really disappointed about is they actually took away my XP opportunity from said gold farm. I keep on saying gold. No, it's a gold farm. So since I'm not like the player directly killing the piglins anymore, essentially it doesn't give me credit, which is kind of really annoying. So it just drops the loot. However, what I did do is I built it to automatically burn all of the stuff I don't need. So the excess rotten flesh, I don't know why I even have 2 chests to collect. Last time I used this was probably over a year ago. It used to be my XP farm. However, I've now shifted to a guardian farm. No, it's not out here. Out here is actually just my mining mesa. So I have a whole bunch of different irrelevant places on here. The reason why I'd say they're irrelevant and that there's no like actual need to go see them in this tour is they're only places I've gone to collect resources. There's like barely anything else. One area that I have spent a lot of time in though. Hang on. Where does this go? I don't know my world. I think this is the stronghold. Over there is world spawn. I brought that shulker back painstakingly. This is my primary portal. I have a little stash here. It's a bundle. And actually, while we're here, let's look at my riches. This is where most of my playtime has gone, to be honest. If I open up my ender chest, it's pretty organized. Some gear I use frequently. I just decided not to put in shulkers because of timing. But, really, we're doing this. I was not expecting to get hit by the shulker all the way this far away. So I'm just going to go through. There's a couple things in the Nether that I wouldn't mind showing off. I just don't want to deal with the sound of a portal. So if I open up this, I have a gear shulker box. I have best, worst gear. And I named all of this hydroxide, chloride, lithium, barium, all different chemistry chemicals. Shows off when this world is from. It was during my sophomore year of high school where I was taking chemistry. Now I'm going into college. I have a trident. This is from when my pickaxe got low. I have a whole bunch of other gear as well. Like these 2 sets are actually not bad, but they're inside glass. And here is some of my end busting loot. A whole bunch of those. A whole bunch of sets of armor. That's not even my main riches, though. If we go to my wallet here, this is... I have 17 notch apples, 9 ominous trial keys. I have a lot of diamonds in ore form, 37 netherite ingots. This is where I can really show off my playtime. And this is a shield pattern. I saw it online 4 years ago in a different server, and I loved it, so I kept it. There might be links to this, to some of these. I might forget the links. That is also very much possible, and you will have to deal with that. Just look up Skull Shield Minecraft online or something. I did a whole bunch of flags. I think I already mentioned that. While we're here, I'm gonna... I don't have a way up, do I? Yeah, I don't have a way up. I need to build a new way up, so I'm gonna actually call the elevator, which I am able to do. It's a pretty advanced redstone tutorial, not gonna lie. And this base is ever expanding. It's sort of like a hive mind down here. It's like a colony of ants, if you think of it, except I'm one ant. I'm just super proud of this world. This is the up elevator shaft. It goes all the way up. In here, I actually built a down elevator shaft. It goes down to negative 50 something. However, I have not actually done any building down there yet. And it's very much possible that there's actually mobs built up down here and I'm just gonna die immediately. If we look at the statistics of this world, I have played over 30 days without dying. So if you want to see the guts of the elevator, here you go. It's not much to it. I'm just gonna fly up. Yes, I have smashed my face a lot in this world. Here's a whole bunch of different things hidden up away. I already mentioned them. The sniffer farm. The only way to get to that, actually, is a wind charge, which I don't know where my wind charges would have gone. Or, no, here they are. I like little hidden away tidbits. So I just wind charge right there, and I'm able to climb up. This one is not really decorated at all. But I'm not a builder in Minecraft. That's not my style. So doing this is trying something new. Not this never farm, but the city up top. And I think I've done pretty well with it, to be honest. So I'm going to cut to the surface. And up there, I'm going to show you the last little bits of the world. There's not much else to it, to be honest, at this point. Back on the surface, I would just like to give out some ideas of what I'm really planning to do with this upper area. More so for me than you, to be honest. I want to talk through my own visions of up here, what's going through my mind, and I want to see how it changes in the future. Or if I lose the world, which would suck. But I hope not. As I said, I've played in this world for 2,586 days in Minecraft. So I'm planning on expanding the city out further back this way. Probably covering up this river. And I'm going to expand this park over this way, and maybe expand it to suburbs over here. I'm just really having too much fun planning this out. And then if I fly over here, here's the raid farm I was talking about earlier. It's a very simple villager in a glass box. Right over from a pillager outpost right here. This is before they switched it to ominous bottles. It used to be just you kill the pillager captain and you get ominous omen. No, bad omen. And then that starts a raid. So this is kind of outdated for current Minecraft. I spent a while flattening out the area for this. Not a while, because it's actually pretty poorly flattened out. I might actually do that better soon. I expanded this pattern all the way down. If I land down here, I'm setting the stage for the city. I know it doesn't come exactly right. I'm actually going to fix that at some point. There's a whole lot of things I want to fix. I want to adjust that blue stripe on the building to be a little further left. There's a lot of things. However, if you actually walk down Main Street, as I'm calling it, there's just some really good views. I love the clock tower up there. And there's the glass bottom to this building, adding more sidewalk. I'm going to probably build a couple more cars. Get rid of these chests, obviously. Actually, these chests are more so just stuff I've collected from mining up here. And this is probably... I'm probably going to make this into a tunnel that goes down, just to, like, sort of fade it off. And I'll probably build a dam over here, pouring down into the river, so I don't have to expand all of the water this way. But the way I've been doing the water, like, this was water level down there, and it's up here now. I'm making it water source blocks by kelp. However, the way I've actually been expanding it is flying machine. I originally thought you could make a water source block like in a waterlogged block on a flying machine that would expand water sources. However, I was very unfortunately wrong, which makes it a lot more work for me. So, actually, I probably spent 100 or 200 days moving this thing. It would be easier to build like an actual redstone machine to move it for me. However, I don't mind. Who knows how far back I'm going to build this out. That's still to be determined. I'm going to expand this as well. And over here, I'm going to build a, not quite a tugboat, but I think I'm going to build a either SS Nomadic or Traffic, which were little barter boats that brought passengers to the pier. Irrelevant in this case, but I like building. Or trying, at least. I need to do a lot of mob proofing up here. I need to actually like set the limits on this park before the suburbs. I'm probably going to expand this pond a little more. Maybe get a couple axolotls in there. I need to tear down all of this mangrove. Build more back here as well. Or figure out what exactly I'm doing. The vision is starting to come together. Actually, this was terraformed by me. I'm not doing too bad. I'm going to terraform it more along to where the dam will be. I want it to look nice. And if you look at it from map form, which I don't have right now, but it looks pretty nice. I spent a lot of time texturing this as well. Well, another thing I'm thinking about is closing in this level and like having little cafes peeking out right below the actual pier level. I'm thinking about that. I'd actually really like to do that. But yeah, this is my hardcore world. 2,600 days, almost, and counting. And let's end it off with a nice look over the pier. I'm going to rip out all that kelp too. But I'm really loving the vibes that are coming up here. I'm really proud of myself. Thanks for watching.